Hey guys, we're on Survivor season 42, episode, I believe we're on 11. Yes, 11. Last time we had High going home. He was blindsided. Sorry. He thought it was going to be Jonathan, but in the end, he was blindsided. All right. We come to this episode and everyone is excited about the blindside. It was a perfect blindside, came off, and Hyde was a big player in the game. But unfortunately, he was playing the same game as Omar, and Omar was doing it way better because Hyde was playing with a lot of his emotions, and Omar was just cold-blooded, you know? So Snake came up against Snake, and in the end, Hyde got it. All right, so he ended up going home. All right, we come to this episode, and everyone is drained. Like the food situation, like everyone's just exhausted. They can barely have any energy, and they're just kind of sitting around. Jonathan is freaking done. Like he needs way more food than everybody else, and he's a freaking big dude, and he's not getting much food, and he's just drained of energy. All right, so there's a lot of conflicts going on. Mike sat everyone down. Well, not everyone, but a couple people. He sat down. Show you a little picture of it right here. All right, you can see there, these are the people he sat down. You got Omar over here with a ridiculous shirt. And you got Drea, Mike, Lindsay, and I believe Miriam is over on the side there as well. So he sat them down and he's talking about he's talking about Romeo, because Romeo Romeo is just over everything. He's just gonna, his plan is to sit back, let everyone go after the strong players and forget about him. But he's not doing anything around camp. He's just sitting by the fire and constantly sneaking food, just constantly opening up the pot and grabbing some food and eating it. And everyone is seeing him do this. Maybe he doesn't realize it, or maybe he does realize it, but he just doesn't care. But he's constantly just eating, just eating the rice from the pot, and everyone's annoyed by it. And Mike is using this to say they should get rid of Romeo. So he's talking to everyone and he's saying we should get rid of Romeo. But as soon as they're done with that conversation, he's walking away with Omar, and he's telling Omar, I hope I didn't overstep my bounds, but what I was trying to do is make Drea comfortable. And his plan is to get rid of Drea. And he just got off that whole blindside with Hyde, and he's feeling like he was the one that orchestrated that blindside, even though he wasn't. It was Omar that orchestrated that. He's feeling that high from voting out High, and now he's just calling the shots, and he wants to vote out Drea. And Omar is not down with that. He kind of wants to get rid of Mike now. So he's going after Drea. He's trying to make her feel comfortable. Lindsay wants to go after Jonathan. Still, I mean, I guess because he's a bad ally and he barks orders at her, that's not a good reason to vote out your ally. I mean, it's not. He's still useful as a vote. Just don't let him tell you what to do. You have to manage relationships that can make you money in this game. You can't just kind of throw away your allies because they annoy you. I mean, he's not strategic at all. He's pretty much going to vote with the numbers because he's a big threat and everyone's going to get rid of him. The only time he felt comfortable enough to tell people what to do is when he had safety. Yeah. So anyway, that's their game plan. Lindsay wants to get rid of Jonathan. Omar wants to get rid of Mike because he's swaggering about. Mike wants to get rid of Drea. And eventually, you know, there was a conflict between Drea and Jonathan, because Jonathan was exhausted and he could barely do anything, and Drea wanted him to help with the netting because he's a fisherman. But he was just kind of telling them what to do, how to do the net thing, but he was just exhausted. He just wanted to sit down. He didn't want to like do anything with the net, and she kind of told him, are you going to do anything? Are you going to do something or whatever? And he got annoyed by it. she got annoyed by the way he responded to her responding to him like that. He got annoyed by her responding to him like that. And it was a whole convoluted nonsense argument, all right? Where they're both just upset with each other. And now Jonathan's thinking now Drea wants to get rid of him because of that conflict. And she kind of does, all right? So eventually they got over that and they get to the first immunity challenge. And in this immunity challenge, there's a twist. The people participating in an immunity challenge, I think the first person to drop out has to compete in a do or die competition. It's a do or die competition where they have 3 chances. They have 3 boxes, and in one box is fire, and the 2 is two of them has a skull. So they get to pick one box, and if that box has fire, then they get safety, and they can't be voted out. If it has any of the skulls, then they get voted out immediately and there's no votes. So they just get eliminated if they participate in the do or die competition. But they have an option, all right? They can choose to either participate in the competition or sit out if they feel like they're safe. But only 2 people ended up choosing to compete. It was Jonathan and Lindsay. Remember, Lindsay won individual immunity last time, and she's the only one that really competes with Jonathan when it comes to competitions. She's in really good shape and she's really great in these competitions. So it ended up being a competition between her and Jonathan. Let's see if I can get a picture of what the competition looks like. All right. As you can see, it is an endurance comp. All right, you can see both of them there, just sort of hanging on the pole there. All right. In the end, I think it was after 15 or so minutes, Lindsay ended up dropping out. I thought Jonathan was going to lose this because he's being so much bigger and having to stand on that tiny little post, barely any leg room. I thought he would be the one to go out, but he outlasted her and he ended up winning immunity. So that means Jonathan is off the table. Now it comes down to either Drea going or Mike going, because Omar told Drea that Mike is actually going after her. So now she wants to go after Mike, right? But that's just in case Lindsay actually wins safety, because she was the only one competing. She's the only one that could be last, and she's the only one that could have to do the do or die challenge. All right, so they're going back and forth, and then Drea reveals to Omar that she has the steal vote, the steal advantage. She reveals that to Omar, and Omar talks to Lindsay about it, and Lindsay came up with the plan to tell Mike about her advantage and get Mike to give Omar the hidden immunity idol. That way, when Drea uses it on Mike, Mike doesn't have the immunity idol and her advantage goes away. Brilliant suggestion. I didn't think they were going to do it, but they get to the tribal, and immediately they have to do the do or die with Lindsay. She goes up there, she chooses a box. Jeff reveals the other box, and there's a skull in it. And he gives her a choice to either switch the box that she chose with the other box that's laying next to the one with the skull in it, or stay with the one that she chose. She ended up staying with the one that she chose. She flips it open, and there's fire, and she wins safety. Freaking close call for her. I remember on season 41 when it was used, the person also won as well. So good on her, because she would have been out the game, and she was the only one competing with Jonathan. He would have a better chance of winning every single competition after that. All right, so after she wins safety, it goes to the vote, and that immediately before it goes to the vote, Drea uses her advantage on Mike. I didn't know what was going to happen. Mike looked shocked that she was going to do it. As soon as she do it and she asked him, does he have an idol? He says no. And her advantage goes away. And she's shocked, and Mike is excited. They go to vote. She uses her extra vote, and it ended up being, I believe it was like 3 or 4 votes on Mike, and all the rest of them on Drea. And Drea ended up going home. And she was very good natured about it. They all had a laugh and everything. She didn't take it She didn't take it personally. She, you know, she was a good sport about the whole thing, man. It was it's one of those evictions in that, I mean, one of those eliminations that I've seen in Survivor, like the only ones that I've ever seen that is so positive that's ever happened. It's sad to see Drea go because of all the advantages she had. If only she knew Miriam also had an idol. You know what? There's no way she wouldn't have known that Omar would have betrayed her. But she shouldn't have told Omar in the first place. She should have just stolen it and used it to save herself. But you know what? She got too comfortable, and especially when Omar was revealing things to her, like Mike wanted to get her out. She trusted him. Omar strikes again. That's another thing on his resume. As soon as he even gets to the end, he's going to be pulling out all those facts. So he's definitely going to win this, especially if he's next to Jonathan. Out the water. He's getting the win. W all the way. So good game all around, and it's exciting to watch. I can't wait for the next one. It's going to be good. Hopefully Jonathan wins again and keeps himself safe. We have Miriam's the only one with an idol now. Freaking Lindsay now has an idol because High is gone and Drea is gone. So now her advantage becomes a hidden immunity idol. So freaking Lindsay can save herself. And if Jonathan gets immunity and Lindsay saves herself, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Somebody's got to get Omar. But yeah, it's all exciting all around. I look forward to the next one. Till next time, guys.